Hello everyone, so I'm back with another sort of doll review, and today I have two Barbie clones that were produced by a company called Lucky Incorporated or something like that. But these are called Fashion Corner dolls, and they were popular in the 90s, and I think the late 80s. The ones in the late 80s had different, they still had the same face mold, but their face paint was slightly different. But these are the ones that I have. And I have quite the story behind the ones that look like this, because that's the one I found. And from what I knew, there was only one of them. But the one that I found ages ago was across the street at this abandoned house. I'd mentioned it in some of my other Dolly stories before. But it was basically a house that was abandoned. I suspect there was also like some vandals that went in there and destroyed stuff after the people left. But there was Barbies everywhere, like Mattel Barbies, clone Barbies, like ones from different brands, and they were scattered throughout the yard, throughout the house. And there was a Miss Fashion Corner doll in the laundry room where there was a bunch of laundry scattered, and she was only half of a body. So like her legs were completely missing. But I took her, I found a Kidcore body, I stuck her on that, I found a ice skating Barbie dress. And I put it on her, and I was like, there you go. But of course, my mom didn't like Barbies, so I had to wind up leaving them there. I actually went across the street to my uncle's house where we were visiting, and I put her on the other side of the fence, along with another doll, and they stayed there for about a year until I could get them. Well, eventually, this was all back in the year 2000. And I had her up until 2006 when my grandma decided she didn't want me to have dolls anymore, so she got rid of her. So sadly, my original one was gone. She originally had like a side part. Her hair was interesting. It was like this one's like kind of grayish blonde, and then there was a hint of red in it, which was really weird. And she didn't have bangs. She just had a side part. And she also, I don't know, I think her eyes were smaller, but I don't know. This one, I basically rerouted her recently. She was in one of my previous videos. I'll put the link in the description, but I basically went through the process of taking all her hair out in that video. And she has waited for like 3 years to get some new hair. So I finally just recently got her rerouted with this Kanekalon hair I got from the wig shop. And I actually curled it, so it looks like her original hair looked. That's basically how the original hair kind of looked. This one's hair is a bit frizzy, but it's okay. And they're not in their original outfits. I don't have any Fashion Corner outfits for them to wear, so you'll have to excuse that. But what I really loved is how they have the same skin tone as Barbie from back in the day, from like the 90s. That sort of rosy, tannish skin tone, if you will. And then their face mold. I loved it whenever these clone companies would make their own face molds for their dolls and not use other, like Mattel ones, like recycle them. So this company actually made this face mold, and I have to say I'm just head over heels for it. I like how she doesn't look like a woman that's in her, like, she doesn't look like a young woman. To me, she strikes me as somebody who's in her like late 30s, maybe early 40s. I really like that we have sort of an older looking doll. She has dimples. I like her tiny lips, her tiny nose with those ginormous eyes. And if you can look at the detail in her eyes, I just always loved the eyes on these dolls. She's got this little crescent moon shape, like brownish highlight in her eye. I love the purple eyeshadow. I love her really thick, doll-like lashes, her dark blue eyes. Now she has a chip taken out of her teeth paint. That happened ages ago. I actually found her at a flea market, and she used to have bangs. Not like this one where the bangs go up, but they were like down. And they were curled. But I got her at a flea market, and I found her at a thrift store. other than the one that I had as a kid, there was also another one I got brand new. And the only difference is with the other one, she didn't have the bendy knees like this one. Her legs were hollow, which was, but yeah, these ones, they have like hollow bodies, so you can squish them, and the arms do pop. These dolls come apart like really easily. Like you can just pop them all apart like cheap dollar store Barbies. But yeah, the one feature on the back that I always remembered was the signature bunny that says Lucky on the inside. So that's how you know you've got a genuine Fashion Corner doll. They weren't all called Fashion Corner. They probably had different names throughout their time. But the other one I was talking about, she had dark green eyes. It was the same exact face. She still had the purple eyeshadow and everything, but her lips were like a dark magenta, and she had green eyes. But she still had the purple eyeshadow. And her hair was in a ponytail, and she came in this like bathing suit with a pail, like so you could take her to the beach and do some like shoveling and making sand and sand castles and whatnot. That one I don't have anymore either. But yeah, that's just kind of a overview of Fashion Corner. If you aren't familiar with Barbie clones, this dress that she's in actually came from the dollar store, actually Dollar Tree. And I did have her in this dress. This is another one, which I'll actually change her into it. Oh yeah, and just as, you know, something interesting, I thought I'd show off what the body looks like. Very much like the 90s Barbie. So yeah, you have the torso, which is squishy. So it's made of that dollar store type Barbie material. This is with the arms, very dainty looking hands. The waist twists and turns. And then the knees bend, which some of them did not bend. The arms that she has on her is actually from her, because this one's arms fell apart, like her fingers came off or something. So I don't know what happened there, so I had to throw her old arms away. But now she has hers, and she has arms that have a different hand shape. So her hands are a little more bulky, but it's still the same skin tone. So here she is in the white dress, and I really love this dress on her. I was actually jamming out to some ABBA the other day, and I had Dancing Queen on, and I was like making her twirl around to it while wearing this dress, and it was like so fitting. So yeah, if you find some of these at the Dollar Tree, get some of them, because they're actually really nice. And they go well on lots of different dolls. They make them look really like fancy. And this outfit I have her in, this dress came on another clone doll from a dollar store, really cheap one. And this jacket, I don't know where it's from, but I found it on the side of the road one day. No joke. So yeah, I felt it was perfectly fitting for, like, you know, it's fall and it's almost, winter is almost here. So I felt I'd start dressing my dolls up like this. And it also takes me back to when I had her in the ice skating dress, my first one. So, because the ice skating dress had the fur on the sleeves and around this area, only it closed all the way like that, and it really takes me back to that winter that I found my first one. So anyhow, that's just kind of an overview of two Fashion Corner dolls. They also had one that was called Steffi Love, and she grew hair, but she had the same face mold. And they had lots of different variations. They had ones that had the same face as this, but brown eyes and brown hair. And there's just lots of different combinations, but I love the head mold they used for these dolls. I'm so glad they came up with their own face mold instead of copying another one. But yeah, that's just kind of an overview of Fashion Corner from Lucky Incorporated from back in the 90s. They both say 93 on the back of them. I'm not sure if that's when they were made, but that is them. So anyhow, thank you guys for watching. More videos to come, and remember to stay true to you.